You almost couldn't see yourself with the amount of tears that were streaming down your cheeks. You saw the look in his face when he realized what you'd done. No, Yuen, don't do this. He stumbled around with his hands out trying to find you, desperately swinging his arms around, but they found nothing as you were pulled into Puppeteer's embrace. Yuen, please! It doesn't have to be this way. Please give me my sight back. Please, baby, listen to me. Puppeteer's grip tightened. Isn't that adorable? The mighty Ground Zero. Begging. You wiped your tears and lifted your head up, as if to reach for him. You gave him his sight back, or at least you tried, but nothing was happening. Bakugou, I'm trying, but my quirk isn't working. I don't understand what's... The puppeteer snarled. Oh, come on now, Yuen. You're much smarter than that. I took the liberty of using your quirk for you. I thought I could trust you to do the right thing. Apparently not. He backhanded you across the face, all while never letting go of your wrist. You cried out in pain, and Bakugou's face snapped in your direction. He couldn't see you, but he could hear you. He lunged toward you, but Puppeteer was quicker. He threw his legs up and kicked Bakugou on the stomach, winding him and sending him to his knees. You strained against Puppeteer's hold. I'm sorry, Bakugou, I'm sorry, please don't. Puppeteer cut you off. I'm a man of my word. No harm will come to you and your friends, but the offer is void should you decide to look for us. I won't be so nice the next time we meet. Bakugou growled with rage. I don't fucking care what you do to me. I will come after you. I will fucking kill you. You fucking shit stain. Puppeteer struck Bakugou in the back of his head, knocking him out cold, and as he dragged you out of the office. Well, good luck to you and your oversized ego. You tripped out yourself several times as you attempted to keep up with this tall man dragging you through the halls. You could faintly hear as the party was disrupted by what you could only assume was the rest of the team. People started to scream and chaos followed. True to his word, none of the puppeteer's men attempted to fight back. Instead, they had all left well before the heroes even arrived. Sure, they ended up selling out some of their clientele, but a small price to pay to have you back. His reach was long. He would sort all that out later. Would you hurry up, you silly girl? Dragging your feet won't help you. He yanked harder, causing you to almost run in order to keep up. He stomped up the stairs, dragging you with him. You were sure you'd be covered in bruises from his grip, but when you finally got on top, he shoved you onto a helicopter and shouted at the pilot to leave immediately. He put on a pair of fancy-looking headphones and passed you a pair as well. I see that my mistake before was treating you like an animal, like a pet to do my bidding. Things could be different this time around, if you behave. Bakugou woke up to someone shaking him and yelling, Hey man, wake up! What happened? Where's Yuen? His eyes snapped open. Shit, Yuen on the roof! He said he had a helicopter on the roof. He tried to stand up, but his head began to spin. Kirishima gently pushed his back down. Hey man, you got a nasty looking head injury. I've already sent some people to the roof and they didn't find anything. Bakugou squeezed his eyes shut to prevent any terror tears from spilling out, making him look weak in front of the other heroes. She's gone. Hooker, they're gone. Kirishima sighed as he took a seat next to his distorted best friend. Don't worry, man. We found them once. We'll find them again. Yuan's earrings have trackers in them. There's still hope. Bakugou didn't say anything. He just covered his face with his hands and let out a huge sigh. Everyone was smart enough to leave him alone for a while. He got checked out by some medics, and they bandaged his head for him. They advised him to go home and get some rest, but obviously that wasn't happening. He started to wander the halls of the fortress-like house. There were so many rooms, and a lot of them had bars and locks, much like cells. A chill went down his spine. He turned the corner and stopped in his tracks. At the end of the hall was a girl. She was dirty and covered in a blanket. She was talking to a police officer, and she looked like you. He tried to keep himself from sprinting towards her. He didn't want to spook her. The closer he got to her, the more of you he saw in her features. Sure, the girl looked to be a little taller. Her hair was much lighter than yours, but there was something about her eyes. They looked just like yours. He approached her and knelt down. I'm sorry to interrupt, but you look like someone I know. Can I talk to you for a minute? She nodded and stood up to take a walk with him. As soon as you were out of earshot, she yanked Bakugou to a room and shut the door. Baffled, Bakugou put his hand from her grip. Hey, what the hell? The strange girl looked him in the eyes. Listen, I don't have much time to explain. You recognize me because I look like Yuan, which makes complete sense considering I'm her older sister. She put a hand up to him to stop him from talking. I know you have questions, but please wait until I'm finished. We're on a time crunch after all. He narrowed his eyes. You have 5 minutes to explain what the fuck is going on and who you are. We're on a time crunch after all. She smirked, and when she was satisfied with his compliance, she continued. My name is Aura. I'm a few years older than her, and there's no way she would remember me. I started showing signs of my quirk young like she did, and I was sold to puppeteer just like she was. I'm sure you found out about our parents, but what you don't know is how our mom works for puppeteer. Her quirk is emotional manipulation. He finds people's quirks that he likes, and he sends her out to basically trick them into loving her, having their children, and then delivering them to her. She's a sick, twisted bitch. Her fist ball and shook for a few seconds before she let go and continued. Our dad was an honest man. His quirk was time travel, but he could only do it for up to 24 hours into the past at a time. He couldn't move to the future, but he could always come back to the present. It took a lot out of him, so he would only use it once a day. Every day he would read the paper, pick someone who died, and go back to warn them. Well, he ended up messing with puppeteer's affairs, and it pissed him off. The girl began to pace now, and her rant continued. But puppeteer wanted to kill him, but he also wanted his quirk. You see, he collects quirks. He can use anyone's quirk as long as they are alive and he has touched them within the last hour. He controls people like puppets, hence the name. So he sent my mother after him, and when they had me, well, I was lucky enough to inherit his quirk. By the time I started showing signs of it, though, Yuan had already been born, but she would have been too young to remember. They came for me, my dad died trying to protect me. Bakugou could see the pain flash across her eyes. He reached out to put a hand on her shoulder. I'm sorry for all the shit you and Yuan had to endure because of him. I would give anything to kill the fucker with my bare hands. Aura just sniffed. I fucking hate Puppeteer, but he's a smart fucker. Every time I try to take him down, he's always one step ahead. He's been giving me quirks frustrating jokes for years, keeping me here until he needs me. I can feel them wear off now, and as soon as I do, well, I have an idea. It's crazy, and I need your help. I'd like to go back in time and save my dad. The only thing is, I've never gone that far. Also, I need to take you with me. And I've never done that before, either. Bakugou blinked a few times before he scoffed. That's not even a plan. That's just wishful thinking. We need a real plan. Right now, we're tracking her coordinates to a tracking device we put in our earrings. We are going to find her, and I'm going to blow the Puppeteer's stupid head off his... And I'm going to blow the Puppeteer's stupid head off of his stupid body. That's the plan. Aura crossed her arms over her chest. That's the dumbest plan I've ever heard. Your plan is more unrealistic than mine. We'll never get close enough to him. He has so many quirks at his disposal. He's just like... He's using his goons like chess pieces. He plays with them like a video game. He left me here, so... Either someone fucked up and forgot to snag me on their way out, or the cocky bastard doesn't see me as a threat anymore. Either way, by now he knows I'm free, and he'll expect me, as I assume he'll expect you. Anything we do has to be very carefully thought out. And you think doing something you've never done before in your life is great? Is careful thinking? It's a suicide mission. I think it's worth a shot. Look, we can try it your way first, if it makes you feel better. I need time to recharge anyway, but I'm giving you 24 hours, and then I'm doing it with or without you. I would rather you come. I think you're the only one strong enough and determined enough to take on Puppeteer, but if I have to do it myself, I will. Puppeteer, in his hurry to get you out, didn't think to check you for your bags or tracking devices. Once you were on the helicopter, you took off your earrings. When you hid between your shirt and the helicopter and the other, you swallowed. It hurt like a bitch, but you weren't taking any chances. Now all you could do is wait. Puppeteer obviously was keeping you from using a quirk. Hopefully they wouldn't bug you, so you could try to reach out to Bakugou later. You were worried though, because they weren't even attempting to hide where you were going. It was like Puppeteer wanted you to know. Was he setting a trap? Did he want you to tell Bakugou where he was so you can walk right into a lion's den? Your thoughts were spiraling out of control, and you could see your breath start to tighten as an anxiety attack was surely building. Relax, Yuan. I don't want to sedate you, but if you can't control yourself, then I'll have no choice. Like I said, I want this to be different. But that's only if I can trust you. It's up to you how this plays out from here. You can live comfortably and go back to doing my bidding, or you can call out for help. His smirk grew evil as his heavy gear landed onto you. I have no problem killing your little boyfriend. And your punishment won't be pleasant either. I just need you to be alive to use your quirk. I don't need you awake. I could turn you into a comatose vegetable of a human and keep you strapped to a bed. Ready for me to come and use your quirk as I wish. So if I were you, I'd think long and hard about what you want to do next. Your stomach dropped and you wanted to throw up. This man truly was evil. Bakugou got Aura some clean clothes and brought her to meet the others. Kirishima was looking at the screen and rubbing his neck. Hey, man, so I got some good news and some bad news. Good news is that tracking devices are still working. Bad news is that they aren't in the same location. Bakugou narrowed his eyes. What? What do you mean? Kirishima turned to the screen towards him and it pointed to blinking red dots. Both earrings have trackers in them, and it looks like one of them is on the move and moving pretty quickly. The other has been in the same coordinate for about half an hour. Bakugou stared at the blank dots. One of those dots was you. So, what do we do? How do we figure out which one's her? Kirishima sighed. I honestly don't... It could honestly be either. There's no way to know for sure. Either she's the moving one, or the other one was dropped and left behind. Or she's the solitary one and the other one is a decoy. Our only option is to split up and check on both coordinates. No, Aura stepped in. If you plan to take them out, you need a unified front. You can't afford to split up. Kirishima looked back and forth between Aura and Bakugou. Who's your friend? Bakugou rolled his eyes. Long story. She's Yuan's sister, and she's here to help. Aura, this is Kirishima, my partner. And best friend, you always leave that part out. Bakugou growled. Now isn't the time for jokes, shitty hair. Kirishima softened. Right, sorry. So, do you think there's any chances that Yuan might be able to contact you tonight? It'd be easier to narrow down which one of these dots is her. Bakugou shrugged. I wouldn't say it's likely, but she did say the last time she found a way to fight through the drugs to reach out to me. Maybe she could do it again? Kirishima nodded. Let's hope so. I say we have a night to regroup and make a plan. You need to go to sleep and see if she reaches out. We'll make our final decisions in the morning. As soon as Kirishima walked away, Aura nudged Bakugou. You know this is a stupid plan, right? We're wasting time. There's no way Puppeteer will let her give away their location. Bakugou grunted. Listen, Listen, we just met like an hour ago, and all you've done is annoyed the shit out of me and question my intelligence. If you're Yuan's sister, if you weren't Yuan's sister, I would have told you to fuck off already. Let's go get a hotel room and get some sleep. You may think it's a long shot, but I want to get ready in case... You may think it's a long shot, but I want to be ready in case your strong, more than capable, badass sister finds a way to reach me. Aura's eyes remained fixed on Bakugou's, like she was an adult talking to a stubborn child. Whatever you say, but when I say 24 hours, I meant 24 hours. You have until tomorrow afternoon. Let's go. They entered the hotel room, and Aura immediately flopped onto one of the beds and picked up the remote to the TV. Bakugou took a seat on the end of his own bed and cleared his thoughts. Not to sound mean or anything, but how are you so normal? Aura put down the remote and gave him a weird look. What do you mean, how am I normal? Bakugou blushed a little. Well, I mean, you and Yuan went through the same shit, but when she found me, well, it was like she'd been shut in a room her whole life. You just seem like, I don't know, normal? Realization flashed in Aura's eyes. Oh, well, from what I understand, when Yuan got out, it was the first time and the only time she had ever escaped. I, on the other hand, escaped a lot. I would be out for months sometimes before they'd find me and drag me back. My escaping so much is probably why they made it so hard for Yuan. Bakugou nodded sadly. Okay, one more question, and then I'll leave you alone and go to bed. When you saw me today, you immediately knew who I was and already had a plan. If that's even what you want to call it. That included me. How? Aura threw her head back to her pillow. I've never told anyone of this, so this stays between us. I may not be able to time travel to the future, but sometimes, in my dreams, I can see it. It's hard to tell, though, because sometimes they come to pass, and sometimes they're just dreams. They helped me escape several times when I was younger. The only thing about you is, well, I had a dream once, years ago. I have no idea who you were, but there you were. You were back to the day my dad died and everything went to shit. I didn't know what happens, but I know it's possible for us to get there. I tried finding out everything. I got out once I did, but you were UA then, and I was too scared to tell you. Time is a very sensitive thing. You can't meddle with it too much. Things need to happen as naturally as they can. So years later, Yuan found out, and so years later, Yuan found you, and now here we are. It's fate. Bakugou's head was spinning. This girl had unloaded so much to him today. He didn't think he could take any more, and he would explode. Thanks for being honest with me, and thank you for at least trying to do things my way. If the time comes that we need to plan B, I won't fight you on it. Aura sighed in relief. Thank you, Bakugou, honestly. A tear slipped out of the corner of her eye. The thought of getting my dad back and having a normal life. It's all I've ever wanted. For Yuan as well. Bakugou just nodded, too emotional to respond. He turned over and closed his eyes. Please, Yuan. Please be there waiting for me. You tossed and turned in your comfortable bed. You were exhausted, but you were terrified to fall asleep. Puppeteer had been so nice to you so far, giving you clean clothes, feeding you. You even had a nice room with a huge bed. All he could ask for in return was your cooperation. Would it be so bad if it meant Bakugou lived? You couldn't stay awake forever. As soon as you fell asleep, you felt your dreams morph into something else. All of a sudden, there he was, Bakugou. He ran to you and wrapped his arms around you. You hadn't done this. You hadn't brought him here. That could only mean Puppeteer did this. Not only was he letting you reach out the Bakugou, he was forcing you to. He was testing you. You and shit, are you okay? Are you hurt? Where are you? He held his hand in between your hands and rubbed the thumb over your cheek. We may not have much time, so I need you to help me get there. Your earrings, they had trackers in them, but they went to 2 different directions. One stopped, and the other kept moving. Which one is you? You gulped. This was it. You had to make a decision. Tell him where you are and risk ruining everything, or lie and save his life. You led forward and planted a passionate kiss on his lip. I'm the one that kept moving. Puppeteer found the first one and threw it out the helicopter. The second one I swallowed. Bakugou kissed your forehead. You're a fucking genius. I'm going to find you, I swear. A tear slipped down your cheek. I love you. Bakugou wiped away the tear quickly. Hey, don't say that. Like this is goodbye. I love you too, Yuen, and it's because I love you that I won't rest until I get you back. I have help. I found your... A loud clap noise rang out in the dream. Bakugou looked around. What's that? You shook your head. Sorry, Bakugou. Something's waking me up. He gripped you tighter. No, wait! He sat up straight in his bed. You sat up straight in your bed to find Puppeteer sitting in the dark corner of your bedroom, clapping. Well, my dear, it seems you passed my little test and gave him the wrong coordinates. It's a shame, though. You betrayed my trust by swallowing the tracking device. Bakugou bolted upright, breathing heavy and sweating. Aura rubbed her eyes and turned to the bedside lamp. What happened? Did you see her? He nodded. Yeah. Did you ask where she was? Again, he nodded, looking angry this time. Yeah, and I think she lied to me. Yeah. Oh, 5,000 more recordings after this. Let's go. Okay. Things I do for you guys. Mixed Picture Home, Part 8. Alright, see you guys later.